More than 100 people are dead after multiple avalanches hit eastern Afghanistan and Pakistan. Donald Trump fires back at alleged fake news. And CSUN hosts a town hall meeting to discuss the president's executive order.
This is Valley View News.
And welcome to Valley View News. I'm Grecia Lopez.
And I'm Jordan Williams.
Heavy snowfall in Afghanistan and Pakistan led to avalanches, killing more than 100 people. Homes were destroyed and some roads were closed. Authorities in eastern Afghanistan say the death toll is expected to rise. In Pakistan, the authorities are organizing rescue efforts and medical assistance for the victims. Another snowstorm is expected this weekend.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is calling on other nations to follow the lead of the U.S. in placing economic sanctions on Iran for its ballistic missile test. Netanyahu met with British Prime Minister Theresa May to talk about Iran along with Israeli West Bank settlements. Netanyahu says Iran seeks to conquer the Middle East and that its possession of nuclear weapons would threaten the world. Britain is opposed to Israeli expansion in the West Bank.
Thousands of Haitian refugees are roaming the streets of Tijuana, looking for a way into the U.S. Reporter Alfredo Perez has their story. He has blurred their faces because many are worried about being deported.
South of the border, many migrants from Haiti sleep on sidewalks or wait outside shelters for a meal. Their only hope is to get political asylum from the United States. Wesley Manalu is one of the many that migrated to Brazil after the 2010 earthquake in Haiti. Mamalu says he left Brazil for a better life. The situation is very difficult in Brazil. In Brazil, I suffered a lot. I didn't have a house or money. Only God knows how I made it to Tijuana because walking was very difficult and expensive. Casa del Migrante is one of the 5 shelters that provide food and clothing for immigrants. Director Father Pat Murphy says every Haitian claims to be from the Congo to avoid deportation from the Mexican government.
And they arrive at our door, they say they're from the Congo, and we always jokingly say, oh, the Congo of Haiti. And then they smile and they say, well, yeah, we're really Haitian, but we need to say that so we wouldn't get deported. And the fact is, it was information somebody gave them, but it's not really true. Mexico's not going to deport any Haitians.
James Berna says he's from the Congo and has spent all his money to get to Tijuana. It's hard. I don't have money for a hotel. One day at a hotel will cost you 350 pesos. And to eat, there isn't money anymore. I have money for today. Tomorrow, I don't know what I will do. When locals see children, they stop and interact with them. Many local citizens also donate food to help all the homeless immigrants in Tijuana. Haiti Castro donates food whenever she has an opportunity. I'm here to help all the people in need. There are a lot of people in need, and I want to collaborate. Francois Macés has agreed to give me an interview, but didn't want his face to be shown on camera. Macés has been in Tijuana for 11 days now after walking through the jungle for 60 days. For him, walking for 60 days wasn't hard at all, but the death of his brother in Nicaragua was.
In Tijuana, Mexico, I'm Alfredo Perez, Valley View News.
The Trump administration has challenged a federal judge's order temporarily blocking a ban on people entering the United States from 7 majority Muslim countries. U.S. District Judge James Robart ordered all airlines to allow those who were previously banned to enter the U.S. President Trump questioned the integrity of the judge and said the order will be overturned.
The demonstrations continue locally over Trump's immigration order. Valley View News' Sharon Carrillo reports on a demonstration at LAX.
Approximately 300 people protested the Muslim ban outside the LAX Tom Bradley terminal last week. People of different ethnicities, ages, and gender chanted and held up signs. One protester, who wished to stay anonymous, says Trump is threatening basic human rights.
Trump's been president for 10 days and he's already passed 16 executive orders. So, we're looking at a situation that's very time sensitive. By the end of this month, we may find ourselves in a country that we have lost more rights than we even realize.
The crowd marched outside the terminal for about 30 minutes. Then, protesters started crossing the street with the help of police, but then stopped in the middle of traffic. The demonstrators then made their way inside the airport. One protester from Dubai said he was frightened because he wasn't sure if he could go back and forth between the two countries.
My home, my work, even my cars, my everything is still in my bucket. I have it with me, the key, everything. So I don't know what I have to do. So if I come back, I'm not gonna see my family again. I don't know, 1 year, 2 years.
Attorneys showed up to help those who were denied entrance to the U.S. One public immigration lawyer says people are having a difficult time entering the country.
A lot of people are being prevented from boarding flights in other countries, so we've seen a big slowdown since the influx over the weekend when there was just sort of total chaos and a lot of people being detained. But we're planning on keeping a presence here, at least through the week and as long as necessary.
Carolyn Gomez of the Party for Socialism and Liberation says all of Trump's executive orders need to be overturned.
As you hear the chants behind us, they are saying from Palestine to Mexico, all of the walls have got to go, and that is very true. We are here in solidarity with all people across the country.
Days after Trump signs the Muslim ban, protesters are still gathering here at LAX trying to get their voices heard. Reporting for Valley View News, I'm Sharon Carrillo.
Officials here at CSUN held a meeting on campus in response to Trump's executive order. Valley View reporter Annie Stonick has the story.
CSUN faculty, staff, and students gathered for a town hall meeting in response to President Trump's immigration ban. This was the second town hall meeting held after the new administration took office. Administrators and guest speakers informed the attendees of campus resources. Vice President of Student Affairs, William Watkins, says his biggest fear is that students do not know the support that is available here at CSUN.
Very importantly, I think, for a very large organization, one that's multicultural, very diverse, that believes in respect for all people, is for us to be able to come together and to reassure ourselves as a campus community of our values and our commitment to supporting students and their well-being, as well as our employees as well.
The meeting concluded with students and staff voicing their concerns, many of which were directed toward the fear they had for their families.
We're talking about Muslim students who are afraid to even go out, people who can't see their families. I'm terrified that my mother can't come and visit me. So what am I supposed to say? What are we supposed to do?
CSUN President Diane Harrison says she, along with California lawmakers, will ensure that the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program will stay intact. This program allows undocumented immigrants who came here as minors to receive a temporary deferral of deportation. CSUN administrators say they are working with state and federal officials to advocate for international students.
We're beginning now to try to pull together some legal resources. We are beginning to speak with our Middle Eastern community here on our campus so that they can begin to develop a way for us to resource and make connections in that particular way. So I think what students will find who step forward with a concern is that we'll be very resourceful as a campus community in finding ways to respond to whatever problem is brought to our attention.
Reporting at CSUN, I'm Annie Stonick.
President Trump took to Twitter to claim the polls that don't support him are fake news. Trump is encouraging his 24 million followers on Twitter to disregard polls. He tweeted, "Any negative polls are fake news, just like CNN, ABC, NBC polls in the election." Trump also tweeted he calls his shots based on an accumulation of data, and everyone knows it. He went on to say some fake news media in order to marginalize lies. Throughout the campaign, Trump bragged about his polls in his favor, but when the polls turned bitter, he made claims about crooked polls. Press Secretary Sean Spicer says the president understands this is a marathon and not a sprint, and will continue to get people back to work, protect the country, and the poll numbers will act accordingly.
Customers are pressuring Macy's to drop Ivanka Trump's fashion brand. Many comments have been posted on Macy's Facebook page asking to stop selling Ivanka's brand. According to an internal source, some Macy's corporate employees are uncomfortable with their roles selling and marketing Ivanka's brand following the presidential election. Nordstrom announced they are no longer selling Ivanka's brand due to declining sales, and Neiman Marcus quickly stopped selling her jewelry line. The movement to boycott retailers that do business with Trump family began in October when people started the hashtag #GrabYourWallet. Macy's is on Grab Your Wallet's top 10 lists of brands to boycott.
New restrictions on homeless people are in effect in the city of Los Angeles. People who live in cars or RVs can no longer park within 500 yards of schools, daycare centers, and parks. The restrictions also prohibit parking on residential streets between 6 in the morning and 9 at night. Civil rights activists say the rules will make it difficult for homeless to live in their cars and don't address the issue of people sleeping in tents on sidewalks.
The third annual Skid Row Carnival took place in downtown Los Angeles last weekend. The event offered free services such as healthcare and dental work for the homeless. Our anchor, Grecia Lopez, took a look.
It's the event Skid Row waits for every year. The Carnival of Love, presented by Wayfair Entertainment Company, brings smiles and compassion to a place that doesn't really have much. For some, this carnival was a chance to let loose and forget about their struggles, like Cesar Acevedo.
I'm enjoying your guys' support.
The homeless were given free food, dental work, clothes, haircuts, and more.
I got a foot massage, I got some food, clothes, hygiene, and that's it.
When I asked how all of this would help him, he said,
So I could change and have clean clothes so I won't smell.
Acevedo was able to get his health checked by the LA Christian Healthcare Center. Medical assistant Carolina Maradiaga says Acevedo is in good condition.
Based on today, his sugars were good and his blood pressure was good. We do this all along with our faith, and we also provide spiritual care, and we serve our homeless population here on Skid Row.
The Carnival of Love is people simply showing that they care about the homeless, not through their words, but through their actions. Psychologist Kristen Eddy volunteered her services.
This event is amazing. It's such a special day for all of the hopeless and the forgotten to know that they are cared for, that society is not ignoring them, that they are not forgotten, that they are important, and that every single one of their lives matters to us.
Companies like Starbucks issued job applications and resume workshops. Rachel Gross says this support is what she needs.
We need a lot of help sometimes, and these events help us with a lot of things that we need, clothing and food.
Not only were the homeless taken care of, but so were their furry companions who received free grooming. In Los Angeles, Grecia Lopez, Valley View News. The South Coast Air Quality Board has delayed a decision on its 15-year smog reduction plan until next month. The goal of the $16 billion plan was to reduce nitrogen oxides by 55% in the nation's worst air polluted counties, LA, Orange, Riverside, and San Bernardino. But cargo handlers and other LA port industries say they won't agree to the Air District's regulations. The district blames these companies for much of the area's pollution problems.
John Adams Middle School in Santa Monica has reopened after a norovirus outbreak. Nearly 90 people who went on a Yosemite National Park trip last month came back with a gastrointestinal illness. Norovirus is the most common severe gastrointestinal illness in the U.S. The campus was closed for several days and scrubbed with antiviral cleaners. The principal advised anyone with symptoms to stay home for 3 days.
You've just finished a big meal and suddenly taking a nap on the couch becomes more appealing by the minute. Well, you're experiencing a phenomenon known as a food coma. A New York nutrition professor says the most likely explanation for food comas is a change in blood circulation. When eating large meals, the nervous system has to shift blood flow from the muscles and brain into the stomach. Doctors advise eating smaller meals during the day and drinking more liquids to avoid getting tired throughout the day. When we come back, we'll have the recent update on A Dog's Purpose.
And Melissa McCarthy's SNL skit.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
So we drowned the fire, stirred it, drowned it again, and now just feel if it's cold.
Yeah.
Cool.
Smokey just gave me a bear hug.
I know. I already posted it.
Life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
Researchers say 1 in 4 teens who vape say they've also used e-cigarettes for an alternative form of smoking called dripping. A new study published in the Journal of Pediatrics says dripping creates thicker clouds of vapor, makes flavors taste better, and gives a stronger sensation. According to the report, the use of e-cigarettes by teens grew by 900% from 2011 to 2015. Researchers say although e-cigarettes may not be as toxic as regular cigarettes, they still pose a threat to human life.
Now let's go to Caroline with the latest in entertainment.
Saturday Night Live video intended to mock White House officials has gone viral. Comic actress Melissa McCarthy impersonated White House Press Secretary Sean Spicer. McCarthy portrayed an angry gum-chewing Spicer who gave a press briefing. However, Sean Spicer said the monologue could dial it back a bit. He said McCarthy needs to slow down on the gum-chewing, way too many pieces in there. Spicer told Extra he found the episode funny. Stranger Things is coming back to Netflix. The teaser aired for Season 2 during last week's Super Bowl. The trailer revealed that the crew of misfits from Hawkins, Indiana is returning on Halloween. The Netflix original is full of 80s references showing Mike, Lucas, and Dustin dressed up as Ghostbusters, and it seems like they'll need their proton packs because all is not well in Hawkins. M. Night Shyamalan fans are in for a treat. The director used Twitter to tease a possible sequel for his latest hit, Split. Shyamalan tweeted he has an 11-page outline for his next film in the bag, and if you've seen Split, then you know what to expect. Those who have seen the film know that it is connected to Shyamalan's 2000 film, Unbreakable. Shyamalan says he plans on trying all 3 movies together in his next film. Split has been topping the box offices for the last few weeks. The American Humane Association released a statement about its investigation into the film A Dog's Purpose. The movie has been under fire after TMZ leaked a video showing a dog being forced into water. The organization said no animals were harmed and numerous safety measures were in place. The trending topic last weekend was the Super Bowl, but there was another bowl, the Puppy Bowl. Animal Planet hosted the 13th annual Animal Super Bowl that took place in Florida. Team Fluff won the dogfight 98-38 over Team Rough. Fluff was led by 17-week-old poodle mix Rory, who scored 3 touchdowns in the first quarter alone and took home MVP honors. This Puppy Bowl has a serious side. It was dedicated to handicapped rescued pups. Many of them have already been adopted. President Trump's new FCC chairman, Ajit Pai, is moving to overturn Obama-era consumer protection regulations. Low-income communities will no longer be receiving discounted high-speed internet services. The biggest target seems to be net neutrality rules, designed to keep internet service providers from discriminating against some internet traffic. Democrats say this is another move by the Trump administration to deregulate businesses. That's all for entertainment. Now back to you.
Wells Fargo is being sued by Riverside Dreamer for discrimination. The lawsuit claims Wells Fargo denied Mitzi Perez a loan because she is not a U.S. citizen. Dreamers are not eligible for federal grants or loans, but some banks are known to turn down private loans for non-permanent residents. This violates federal and state laws prohibiting discrimination based on immigration status.
Tonight is CSUN homecoming. The men's basketball team is playing UC Santa Barbara at 7:30. This is the first homecoming in over a decade at CSUN. People can get barbecue, wine, and enjoy live entertainment before the basketball game. Some proceeds will be going to the new fund on campus called the Medicare Fund. It helps students who need short-term financial support in case of emergencies.
When we come back, we'll have the latest on the Clippers
and this U.S. soccer team.
Don't worry, 74 people were picked before me in the NFL draft.
To fight childhood obesity, United Way and the NFL are helping kids play at least 60 minutes a day.
Okay, time for the team obstacle course. Yay!
What this place needs is more healthy kids. To get involved or donate, go to unitedway.org/play60.
Now I get it.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate. It's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
San Fernando Valley thieves have been stealing white vans packed with tools and then selling the tools on the internet for big money. Los Angeles police are warning residents to take precautions. They don't know if one gang or a new crime trend. An LAPD lieutenant says the vans are taken overnight. The vans are recovered quickly, but not the tools.
Now let's go to Yesenia with the latest on sports.
Thank you, Jordan. Next month, the U.S. soccer team has to win 2 games to make it to the FIFA World Cup in Russia. Reporter Michael Ramirez has the story.
The United States men's national team hosted the annual January camp at the Staples Center. The purpose of the camp is to train for a couple of weeks. The U.S. team will play friendlies against different international teams. Head coach Bruce Arena picked 32 American players from Major League Soccer. One of the players on the national team is Sebastian Lletget from the LA Galaxy. Lletget is 24. He is an attacking midfielder. He is excited to be part of the team.
No, it's been fantastic. I've been really enjoying it. It's been it's been a tough almost 2.5 weeks, but I've enjoyed every minute of it. It's very good.
The United States men's national team is getting ready for the 2 crucial games in March against the national team of Honduras and Panama. If the U.S. doesn't win these 2 games, they will not make it to the FIFA World Cup in Russia. The United States has a lot of pressure after losing the first 2 games of the final qualification round against Mexico and Costa Rica. Sasha Kleise is another attacking midfielder who plays for the New York Red Bulls. He is confident about next month's games.
When we bring our European players in for the game against Honduras, we know it's a very big game, but I think mentality-wise, the feeling of the group this past 3 weeks has been top-notch.
Many fans are excited to see what Bruce Arena has to offer as a new coach. Arena comes to replace Jurgen Klinsmann, who got fired last year. Arena is confident these friendlies will help build a team chemistry for the FIFA World Cup qualifiers.
These games are important, especially for our domestic players. But the games that are going to count are the ones in March. That's where you look at me and you get really critical.
The U.S. tied Serbia last week and beat Jamaica on Friday. The team will regroup until mid-March. The United States needs to earn some points to make it to the World Cup next summer. In Northridge, Michael Ramirez, Valley V News.
Cameroon captured its 5th African Cup of Nations title, defeating the favored Egyptians with a score of 2-1. 2 second-half goals for Cameroon canceled out Egypt's early first-half strike. It was an improbable win for the Lions, as 8 of the star players had refused to travel to Gabon to compete in the tournament. The victory by Cameroon was even more unlikely when you look at Egypt's past record in the Cup of Nations. Egypt had not lost a game in the tournament for 13 years. Next weekend, the U.S. wrestling team will be competing at the 2017 Freestyle Wrestling Cup in Iran. The team's ability to compete had been put into question when the Iran Foreign Ministry threatened to withhold visas from the team in retaliation against Trump's ban. As soon as the ban was temporarily lifted, the Iranians said they would allow the Americans to compete. The two-day tournament will take place in the Iranian city of Kermanshah. Clippers player Paul Pierce had said farewell to the Boston Celtics, his former team of 15 years. Pierce is retiring this season after 19 years in the NBA. Pierce started the game but spent most of it on the bench. He was put back in the game with less than 20 seconds on the clock to make one last play on his former home court. He sunk a three-pointer to end the game. Despite the Clippers' defeat, Pierce said the feeling was unlike anything else. As of Monday, the CSUN women's basketball team is the 5th in the Big West standings. The team has had 3 back-to-back wins. Men's basketball is the 3rd in the Big West standings after losing a close game against Hawaii by 4 points. CSUN's women water polo is ranked number 1 in the Big West with 4 wins. Men's volleyball has had 3 back-to-back wins, sweeping Cal Lutheran, Hope International, and Stanford. That is all with sports. Now back to you.
The holiday that celebrates love is right around the corner. Couples are scrambling to make plans this Valentine's Day. CSUN reporter Keilani Sarmiento wonders if you've been struck by Cupid's arrow.
In the dating era of Netflix and chill, how is one supposed to know the status of a relationship? Whether you're in a committed relationship or friends with benefits, CSUN student Kola Obalai explains the difference in being the main chick or the side chick in someone's life.
The characteristics with the main chick is a lot more people know about it. And opposed to the side chick, it's very quiet and private.
If your DMs are dry, don't worry, there's plenty of fish in the sea. Experts say 93% of college students get rejected and 95% reject others. You're just one swipe left away on Tinder from a perfect match. Many men feel the pressure to plan out the perfect Valentine's Day date. But will chocolate, flowers, and gifts be enough? CSUN students are here to help these fellas out on what an ideal Valentine's Day date would be.
Honestly, I love sushi, and heart-shaped sushi is like one of my favorites, like sashimi and some ponzu sauce. That's all a girl needs is some food.
I would pick Disneyland because I just think it's the happiest place on the earth. Like, I'm totally a sucker for all that like princessy romantic stuff.
Go somewhere where you can see the city lights from.
What does it take to light the flame again for couples who have been married for years? Valentine's Day is a special time to spice things up. Hillary and Benjamin have been married for 14 years, and one year he went all out to make her feel special.
I think the last Valentine's Day that was very different, he bought me a bakery. We try to do different things. Go different places and try new activities, and we try to do different things.
We go out for a super nice dinner and then a walk on the beach afterwards.
Love is in the air, and couples are planning out the perfect Valentine's Day. In Los Angeles, I'm Keilani Sarmiento for Valley View News.
Love is in the air. Thank you for watching. I'm Jordan Williams.
And I'm Grecia Lopez. Until next time.